Hi, I'm Dave Cathy, the Food Dude, here in the Oklahoman studios, and today I have a very special guest, Chef Shannon Bard. Shannon, people around here may not know your name, but they're going to very soon.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's right. You've got a very brand new cookbook here, and and you live in Maine.
I do.
Up in a beautiful part of the country. However, you began somewhere else. Where was that exactly?
I did. I'm an Oklahoma girl.
That's right.
I'm an Okie. So I was, I'm from Chattanooga, a little town southwest Oklahoma between Lawton and Wichita Falls, Texas. Grew up there, went to college here, loved it, moved away. One of those things, moved away when I was 23 and now, love coming back, and it's just, I love it here.
And so yeah, things have gotten very big for you here lately.
They have.
You had an appearance on Food Network. Let's talk about that first. Talk about that experience.
I did. I actually was on Kitchen Inferno.
Yes.
It's a brand new show that whenever they were selling it to me, they said it's going to replace Iron Chef America, which was great and it's fantastic. But they talked to me. It's never been on before. So they called me and asked if I would consider being on the show. And when you own a restaurant, it's great. You want to promote yourself, but at the same time, if you mess up, it could really, really be detrimental to your career. So I really, thought about it and said, I need to do it. And the only information they could give me was be prepared to cook anything. And they wanted to make sure I could cook Italian, wanted to make sure I could cook French, all of that, and that's it. I had no other clue. So I went in there, I shot for 3 days. It was an amazing experience. I went 4 rounds. So what it is they basically say, work your way, battle your way up the culinary ladder.
Yeah, like the octagon or something.
It is. It was intense, and it was Curtis Stone was hosting it, and he's so handsome. It's hard to cook with him when he's around. But he was there, and you had to go. The first round, I battled against Penny Davity, who was on. What was she on? Food Network star. She owns 3 restaurants. She has 5 kids, just like me. So, it was kind of a similar battle. We did a Brussels sprouts battle. And that was probably the hardest because I only had 5 ingredients. The next battle I battled against a gentleman who has 2 restaurants, maybe 3 actually. His partner's Justin Timberlake, and they very well known. Won that one by the skin of my teeth. And then the third one I did, Jet Tila, who's very well known for Cutthroat Kitchen, doing that. Battled against him, won unanimously that round. Very proud of that. But they gave me an option of lobster, and I live in Maine now, and I cook lobster every day. Which is kind of sad, but then,
no, not sad at all.
It's just so inexpensive there, so it's cheaper than steak there. So, and then the 4th round was one of my idols. I battled Michael Chiarello, and he is just as amazing in person as he is, and he seems on TV in his cookbooks. And I won that one too. I had to cook a meal using four items that are typically found in colonial New England: venison, farro, which I had never cooked farro before, by the way. Venison, farro, butternut squash, and oysters. And I made a mole.
Yeah, of course you did.
I did make a mole.
Because it's Mexican food that you specialize in, correct?
It is.
Exactly. And as I was telling you before, I watched this episode, and when I heard Mexican food, I'm sure it's the same reaction we were talking about. Blonde hair, green eyes. What does she know about Mexican food?
In Maine,
but in Oklahoma here we have a pretty good tradition with Mexican food from people who you might not expect it from.
Exactly, so. And and that's how when I was growing up. There's such a strong Mexican influence here in Oklahoma, and people don't always realize that. It's not a border state, so they don't think about that, but it is. I've had Mexican influence since I can remember. I traveled to Mexico for the first time when I was 4 years old.
Right.
So it's something that's just been part of me. And when I did decide to go to culinary school, it was a no-brainer. It was one of those things you just don't think about. I didn't consider for a second any other thing.
You just moved to what you like.
I said I want to focus on Mexican cuisine. That's what I cook at home. That's what I love to eat. So that's what I want to make.
And so now we're here with the book.
That is
Gourmet
the book.
Mexican Meals.
That's right.
So you're not very excited about this, I can tell.
I am super excited about it. I'm super excited. It's because it's all me. It's a lot of things. It's my first book. I had 3 months to write it, which people don't know all of that. But then you're a chef.
That's really
You're
fast.
a chef, though, but you're working with your recipes that you have. But I had to simplify them for the home chef. I can't use all the things things that I use at the restaurant. And at the restaurant, we don't even really serve that many tacos. I mean, we serve tacos for lunch, but we do more moles and you know, different things, venison sometimes, and wild boar and things like that for dinner. But I had to have 3 months to do it. One of those months I was studying in Spain at Arzac and San Sebastian. So when I came back, I basically sat my butt down and did not get up for a month. I cannot tell you how many bottles of wine I drank or how many pounds I gained, but it was a lot on both ends.
Oh my gosh! Well, congratulations,
Thank
obviously.
you.
Now, before we let you go here, tell us about the restaurants you do have, because you know we're not real close to Maine here, but we have airplanes.
We
and
do.
An airport,
I've been on plenty of them the last few days. Yeah.
So tell us about your places.
So I have 2 restaurants right now. I have Zapoteca, which is a modern Mexican restaurant. It's very chef-driven that we change. You know, I change the menus changed every 2 to 3 months. I use local farmers. I try to use seasonality. The thing about that I do there though that is different is because my father and grandfather were the farmers. I appreciate, you know, the farmers and the farm culture and being able to use as many local items as possible. So I don't fly in, you know, the red snapper from the Gulf of Mexico. I use all the beautiful seafood that we have there in Maine.
Not? That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's perfect and it's great. I mean, it's a little twist on it. So you'll see in the cookbook, I have a lot of lobster recipes. I have a lobster taco recipe. I use those things that are local there for me, but also lots of other things as well. You know, the steak, because you know I am still an Okie girl at heart.
That's right.
Yeah, no. Gotta have that. Gotta have that. And then the second restaurant is Mixteca in Durham, New Hampshire. Durham, New Hampshire is where the University of New Hampshire is, so it's a large college town. So that's where I do my tacos. That's where I do all of my enchiladas, and that's the really super fun environment. But we also have great tequila selection. And in the book, at both restaurants, our specialty is a watermelon habanero margarita.
Nice.
Yeah.
Count me in.
Yeah, and you have so much watermelon around here,
Yeah,
you know?
it can be done.
Yeah,
it can be done.
exactly.
Exactly. Well, we're so glad you're here for this short visit. We hope you come back soon. The book is Gourmet Mexican Kitchen. All right. You kind of want to go out and get that. Shannon, thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet.